Okay, so the year is 2024, right? 2024, where power, electricity connects everybody, right? Worldwide, power, electricity. And you don't always use a mechanical device nowadays to make a sale at your business, do you? In fact, guess what? You're using electronics to make sales at your businesses. And it's usually called a POS system, point of sale. And it's digital. And you've got the ability to receive checks, credit cards, cash, and now things like PayPal. Okay? So with these things, there's something going on. And I don't know if it's going on in your community yet, but it's definitely happening here in Washington, D.C. And I'll give you a specific example of a point of sale device being used to kind of, mess with you. So if you go into a restaurant and you look at their prices and you order something, and as they're ringing it up, the prices are more than what you ordered, and you say, "Excuse me, let's take it to first person. Why don't we? Let's go first person on this. Let's take it away." All right, takeaway. This is takeaway from La Pan Quo Tilden, right here in Washington, D.C., the store on 17th Street, which is between H Street and I Street Northwest, just a few blocks from the White House, where I've been known to actually live as a squatter and a homeless man right in those area with a few blocks within that. As a matter of fact, for many years, until I got into this transitional housing place here. And I was over there the other day. Let's see when it was. Here's the receipt. Almost 2 weeks ago, October 11th. And what did I order? I ordered 3 things: an egg cheddar avo breakfast sandwich, a ham Gruyere croissant sandwich, and a French cream donut. Now, you look at your takeaway menu, right? And that egg cheddar and avo breakfast sandwich, $10.25. So I order, and I watch, and it's $2 more for that product. And I say, "Excuse me, ma'am, that sandwich is $10.25, and your computer says $12.25. It might have even said $12.50, but it was definitely $2 more, maybe $2.25 more." And she's like, "Oh no, it's takeaway. It costs more." And I go, "Ma'am, this is the takeaway menu. Here's the price. Is this an old menu? What do you mean it costs more? Oh, hold on a second. Wait a minute. What did you want again?" And she starts trying to fast talk me. Now, I'm going to be honest. The cashier was cute. She's about 5 feet tall, had black hair, beautiful big brown eyes, very beautiful and cute. I didn't get really mad at her. I said, "That's wrong." Then she started pressing all these buttons, then acted like she was confused. Then she says, "Hold on," and she goes to get a manager. Then the manager comes back and she leaves. Then she comes back and her and the manager are pretending they don't know what's going on. He's like, "What did you order again, please? Could you please?" He asked me like 4 times, "What did you order again, please?" And so what I did is I ordered what I ordered, paid the price that's on the menu, and I even gave them a tip. I think I gave them $3, which is a lot for a homeless man who's transitioning into not being a homeless man anymore, which is me. And I thought to myself, this breaks my heart because they'll do this to anyone. So a lot of people say that this is a digital revolution. It's a money revolution. It's a war. I did nothing to La Pan Quo Tilden. I did nothing to that cashier. Yet they were willing to overcharge me nearly 20%. If the product is $10 and you're charging $12, that's a 20% markup. And if I wouldn't have paid attention, I would have probably paid an extra $4 or $5 on what I ate. And I would have given them a tip too, because I'm nice. And I don't think that my poverty and my lowliness should affect the tip that someone gets at a restaurant, because when you work at a restaurant, you expect to get tips. That's how you live. Here's my tip to Lapon Quotilden. Your POS system, your point of sale system, has multiple price points and an array of variations. Maybe just 2, maybe 3 or 4. Who knows? How much do you want to charge people? So this is wrong. It's not right. And it's totally horrible and evil. Now, the internet is a place where you can't check these things. If you have friends or people from different stratas of society, you may find that they're paying less for their products and less for their shipping. People of middle lifestyle or low lifestyle pay more for products and shipping in some instances, based upon many things, including your credit score, your social score, which is like your credit score, but it's about being how social and community you are. And then you've got influencer comments and special remarks. So there's probably more to it than that. But what I'm saying is this. Once they pick your, shall we say, caste in society, your caste, or let's take it away from the British subjugation of the people in the continent of India or country of India, which was before many people, and Britain was able to split the militants and the peaceable people between the Muslims and the Hindus, or the Hindus, and then create 2 countries out of it called India and Pakistan. The Musulman, which is what Gandhi called them, the Muslimen. So the Musulman went up to Pakistan, the other folks stayed in India, and they split religious-wise, language-wise, attitude-wise. The sad thing is Pakistan has been a feeder for the oil fields of the United Arab Emirates. But I digress. Point of sale systems. Different pay tiers. Let's not use the word caste. Tiers. So depending on your scores that you have amongst the elite people, you're on a pay tier. If you're on a certain pay tier, digitally, anywhere, you're paying a certain rate. A person on a different tier pays less. The higher you go on the pay tiers, you pay less. Which is kind of weird, meaning that the people with everything have to get to pay less. Because basically they're just saying, well, we own everything. We don't really have to pay for anything. It's symbolic when we pay for it. And you're privileged to live on our planet, to use our technology, our production, our computers. However, these are people with all the production facilities, with the transportation companies, with the storage warehouses, and with the stamps when you go through customs. But the thing is like this. When you have this many people, like this many, and all the other people do all the work, and this many people walk around with their nose up in the air saying, look at us. You have a situation now, shall we say, in the United States of America where people are very angry with the government. Here in this country, most folks say Washington, D.C. is evil. And then, when you travel around the planet, most folks say the United States of America is evil, specifically because of Washington, D.C. Now, these pay tiers, these point of sale systems that have different pay tiers, it's terrible, it's bad, and we should stop it immediately. Another example, and I didn't quite know how to put my finger on it or say it. One of the stores that I used to buy cannabis from regularly, and unfortunately I don't buy herb there anymore. I guess because I'm crazy, or I vibed it wrong, or they vibed me the wrong way, or whatever, but I don't buy herb there anymore. But there was a period of about 6 to 8 months where from week to week, one day I'd pay $15 for an eighth of cannabis. The next day I'd pay $20 for an eighth of cannabis. And then a week later it'd be 15, and then 2 weeks later it'd be 20. So those point of sale systems, when they're digital, who knows? And again, it's a fact, when I was in the store, sometimes I'd pay 15 and sometimes I'd pay 20. So I think it was probably who was behind the scenes every time. And what that means now is this: every business that has a point of sale system that has multiple tier levels with software created by software engineers who write programs for computers, they've created software with multiple pay tiers. But that means they have to have somebody behind the scenes at the store watching on the camera to know which channel of pay tier to put them in. Meaning when their friends come in the store, they pay the $15. And when somebody who they think is a chump or they don't care about comes in the store, they pay $20. Or when you go to La Pan Quotilden, you pay $10.25, or they try and charge you more. It's kind of like the car salesman. The story of the car salesman when you go to buy a car. And the car salesman will sell a brand new, exactly the same car. He will sell that car to different people for different prices. One, because of your credit score. If you have good credit, you pay less. And two, if he knew you or your family or someone at the dealership did, who when you went in to buy a car, they went like this to the guy and did a hand signal, and you were immediately picked as a special chosen one to pay less for your vehicle than, say, the guy who lives up the block who they don't like. This is basically called criminal. It's criminal. And so I'm hoping that someone who understands things can watch this video and has some sort of way to correct this. Because if everything is like that in the future, well, let me put it this way. Washington, D.C. is where I live. The Capitol Dome's a couple of miles that way. I can see it out of my window. They make the laws for the entire country right there. The foundation of the United States military is here in Washington, D.C. And I grew up around the families that are kind of the behind-the-scenes families for shaping the future of the country and the world with their diplomatic immunity and their international, global, corporate connectivity. So when I think that I can make a difference in the world, it's because of where I come from and who I grew up around. I've been told that I'm protected by people at the upper levels, and I don't know how that's possible. I guess it's just like this. People in power, they don't want people to know when they're helping people like me. And people who charge more to some people and less to other people, we used to look down upon that and call that being a city slicker. After the Civil War, when people went to the South to take advantage of the people, they were called carpetbaggers. They say a sucker is born every minute. The same people who do that have factories that make things called suckers, and they're basically a ball of chemicals and sugar that they give to us to suck on. And if no one's there to tell you it's bad and to help you, then you get sucked in. And guess what? Depending on what you're talking about, everyone's can be a sucker. You think you're up and up, someone is above you and thinks you're a sucker. You think you're way up, there's someone above you who thinks you're a sucker. And you think you're down low and you're nothing, there's people preying upon people like me who have nothing. Why would someone do that? Anyways, point of sale. Point of sale. Point of sale.